Earlier today, Bethesda finally revealed some details on Fallout 4's new update, and this is actually a pretty big deal because they are finally doing it. Fallout 4 will finally be fixed, those bugs from last year's next-gen update will be resolved, and your mod storage space will be expanding. At least, probably, and at some point. One of my biggest criticisms of the Fallout Day stream was Bethesda announcing a new update for Fallout 4, but only ever sharing details on the paid content coming from it. They showed us which paid mods would be added, but not what general changes would come to the game. Earlier today, we got to look at some of these general changes, as Fallout 4's mods and Creation Club menu will be going down for maintenance from the 6th to the 10th of November. And if you are somebody playing Fallout 4, do make note of this. The main menu is going to be changing with this upcoming update. So Bethesda mentions how you should disable any mods which change the main menu because they'll probably break. But the far more important patch notes come later, as many of the newly introduced bugs from last year's next-gen update will finally be fixed. VATS accuracy and targeting is getting resolved. This was a console-heavy bug, but VATS was borderline unusable for the last year plus. When targeting enemies, your hit chance would randomly drop to 0, and this goes a step beyond just being annoying because it actually disallows you selecting this body part. Sometimes it would get stuck on 0, and people would have a very frustrating experience in VATS. You could also freely target enemies through walls with VATS, despite the fact that your bullets wouldn't actually pierce those walls. This made that very common playstyle of just spamming the VATS key to find the enemies near you really frustrating, because you kept targeting inaccessible enemies. Both of these bugs are getting fixed, which should be a massive quality of life improvement for console players, but even bigger is the NPC face bug is also getting resolved. This was the big one, what led many creators, including me, to declare Fallout 4 broken. Basically, if you downloaded any mod that edited NPC face gen data, the game would begin stuttering as a result of this bug. More mods meant more stutters to the point of basically being unplayable, and over time, as your save game got older, these stutters would get worse, yielding huge freezes in game. So even if you're just using some basic mods like the unofficial patch or even sim settlements, you would immediately notice after downloading those seemingly innocuous mods, your game just has a stutter now. And the only resolution was to uninstall those mods, at least if you're playing on consoles where you can't downgrade or download some of the fixes. This has been a bug in Fallout 4 since April of last year, but on November 10th, seemingly Fallout 4 will get its new update and resolve this one as well, which is definitely a good step in the right direction, but to me, this bug was a low point in Bethesda's history. Breaking a nearly 10-year-old game, and then just leaving it broken for over a year while it has a very active player base being one of your most played games, is just not a good look whatsoever. A bunch of the ultra-wide specific visual bugs are getting resolved, so unlike last year, Fallout 4 should have proper ultra-wide support at the end of this year. They mentioned some fixes around BethNet connectivity as well as a crafting station crash, but with this broader update to the Creation Club and mod menu, as they're not only getting merged into one, but also overhauled in this new Creations menu, where you'll be able to find paid and free content side by side all in one menu. But all of this likely means that many of the common mod menu bugs like Operation Could Not Be Completed, or even some of the broader search issues should also be getting resolved with this update, despite not being explicitly mentioned in the patch notes. The Operation Could Not Be Completed bug was really widespread and obnoxious. It just made accessing this menu difficult, or you'd have to restart the game. But the search bug was actually sending me crazy for a bit. I mostly play on PC, but the search results would just be in a completely wacky order. You can see here, trying to find the mod I'm searching for is very difficult. It takes 2 seconds using the same exact website on PC. But what truly has to be the biggest change from all of this is more mod space. Sadly, this isn't coming on November 10th, but Bethesda does say, thank you for your patience as we work to roll these changes out and lay the groundwork for things like additional storage for creations. Which not only implies that this 2GB mod limit on consoles will be raised, but also that Fallout 4 will be getting more than one update, which likely means multiple rounds of our mods on PC breaking. But yeah, this is overall a really big deal. More mod space on consoles doesn't just open up new possibilities for new mods to be created and likely sold, but more importantly, there is a massive library of Fallout 4 mods on PC that can immediately be ported over to consoles with the space increase. When it comes to modding on PC, you still require the script extender for a ton of mods, and that still isn't on consoles, at least as of right now, so those mods still won't be able to be ported over. But there's a ton of other really awesome mods out there that simply were too big to fit within the 2GB limit that potentially could come over now. Some of these are giant DLC-sized experiences, and this update will almost certainly breathe a ton of new life into the console modding scene for Fallout 4, which very well could have a bigger impact on the PC modding modding scene as well. Things have definitely started to quiet down with Fallout 4 modding in 2025, but this has serious potential to turn that all around. I'll reserve my full thoughts on all of this until the update's actually here. We at least have under a week to wait now. But if you are interested in more Fallout 4, get subscribed. I have a ton of content coming.